No resources, no empire, no powerful army. So how did this tiny country become one of the richest on Earth? Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world, but historically it had almost no reason to become one. Switzerland is landlocked, with no coastline or naval trade routes. This alone limited economic growth for most of history. It has no oil, no coal, and no large natural resources. Switzerland has 4 national languages. There was never a single dominant culture. For centuries, Switzerland was surrounded by powerful empires. Any one of them could have erased it. In 1291, 3 rural communities formed a peaceful alliance. They promised to defend each other. In 1315, Swiss farmers ambushed a powerful Austrian army. Terrain turned weakness into strength. After victory, more cities joined the alliance. The Swiss Confederation slowly expanded. Unlike other countries, Switzerland had no dominant capital. Power remained decentralized. Over time, Swiss soldiers became feared across Europe. They were known for discipline and unity. Medieval Europe was violent and unstable. Small regions were constantly conquered by larger powers. Most small states simply disappeared. Survival without conquest was extremely rare. In 1291, 3 mountain communities made a pact. They agreed to defend one another from outside threats. There was no king and no empire. Power stayed local and shared. Austria saw the region as weak and divided. It prepared to assert control. But Switzerland's geography changed everything. Movement was slow and predictable. Most Swiss fighters were farmers. They had little formal military training. In 1315, the Swiss launched a surprise ambush. The Austrian army was completely unprepared. Over 1,500 Austrians were killed. A peasant militia defeated professional knights. The victory shocked Europe. Switzerland was no longer seen as weak. Other cities wanted protection. Lucerne joined the alliance. Soon after, Zurich joined as well. The Confederation expanded steadily. No city dominated the others. Each canton kept its independence. Unlike other nations, Switzerland had no grand capital. Power was distributed. The Swiss relied on citizen militias. Soldiers were also farmers and craftsmen. They focused on discipline and coordination, not sheer numbers. The Swiss crushed Burgundy in battle. Their reputation spread rapidly. Swiss infantry became feared across Europe. They were known for relentless attacks. In the early 1500s, Swiss armies marched into Italy. They sought influence and wealth. They captured Milan from France. At their peak, the Swiss seemed unstoppable. Quick question, what part of this story surprised you most? Drop a comment, hit like, and let's continue. Years of victories made the Swiss confident. Some would say too confident. France carefully prepared a response. This time, the Swiss would face a well-organized counterattack. In 1515, both sides met at Marignano. It became one of the bloodiest battles of the era. The Swiss were decisively defeated. Their image of invincibility was shattered. The defeat forced Switzerland to reflect. Continuing expansion now looked dangerous. Instead of seeking revenge, Switzerland chose peace. They agreed to return Milan to France. This decision shocked Europe. Most powers would have fought on. From this point forward, Swiss expansion stopped. Territorial ambition was abandoned. Neutrality became a long-term strategy. Switzerland would survive by staying out of wars. While Europe fought constant wars, Switzerland remained largely untouched. Yet Swiss soldiers were still in high demand. Their discipline was unmatched. Switzerland exported manpower instead of territory. Soldiers became a source of income. These weren't lone mercenaries. They were complete, battle-tested units. Sometimes Swiss soldiers fought other Swiss. They were hired by rival powers. This system brought enormous wealth home, without destroying Swiss cities. For centuries, Switzerland avoided major wars. Stability became its greatest asset. The Alps acted as a natural fortress. Invasions were costly and risky. Switzerland functioned like an island, protected from Europe's constant conflicts. This stability lasted for centuries, until one man changed everything. Napoleon Bonaparte rose to power, and Switzerland could not ignore him. In 1798, Napoleon invaded Switzerland. Neutrality offered no protection this time. The old Swiss Confederation collapsed. Centuries of political balance were suddenly gone. Napoleon imposed the Helvetic Republic. Switzerland was forced into a centralized state. This system ignored Swiss traditions. Local autonomy was deeply important to the people. The result was chaos. Switzerland became unstable and divided. Even Napoleon recognized the problem. He admitted Switzerland was ungovernable. Autonomy was gradually restored. Local governance returned. When Napoleon fell, Europe was reshaped. Switzerland's future was once again uncertain. In 1815, Europe met at the Congress of Vienna. Switzerland's fate was decided there. Switzerland's neutrality was formally recognized. This time, it was permanent. We're almost at the end of this story. If this helped you see Switzerland differently, like the video and share your thoughts below. Swiss independence was restored and protected by international agreement. Europe remained dangerous and unstable. Switzerland became a place of safety. Wealthy Europeans needed protection. Switzerland offered security. Swiss banks already existed. Now they began to grow rapidly. Switzerland sold trust, not force, and trust is extremely valuable. Banking secrecy became a core principle. Client privacy was strictly protected. Money was shielded from confiscation and from rising royal taxes. Capital flooded into Switzerland without firing a single shot. Wealth funded stability and infrastructure. Growth was slow but constant. These years laid the foundation for the Switzerland we know today. In 1848, Switzerland became a federal state. A unique political system was born. Switzerland adopted direct democracy. Citizens vote directly on major decisions. This system limits government power and increases public control over spending. Decisions take longer to pass, but the result is long-term stability. Switzerland introduced a single currency. The Swiss franc unified the economy. Switzerland focused on specialization. Precision became its competitive advantage. During World War I, Switzerland stayed neutral. While Europe burned, Swiss banks grew. In World War II, Switzerland remained neutral again. Its banks stored assets from all sides. Switzerland became a global financial lifeboat, a safe place in times of chaos. Without natural resources, Switzerland built trust, and trust made it one of the richest nations on earth. Switzerland survived empires, wars, and invasions. With neutrality, democracy, and trust, it turned weakness into wealth. If you enjoyed this story, like the video and subscribe. More fascinating histories are coming next.